Howdy everyone, my name is Jarnope, in case you're new or you forgot. This is a sped up recording of me playing Dark Souls. It's not the character I'm using in my current playthrough, obviously. But the reason I'm doing this is because ever since about episode 4 or 5, the video quality of my recordings, as well as the mic quality, if I'm being completely honest, was really not great. Like, very, very horrible. And it was, by then, like, I figured out how to fix it. So now you can actually watch the videos now. Like, there are visuals to follow and everything. Unfortunately, by the time I figured out how to do this, I already had, like, I want to say about 4 hours recorded. And I was already past the second boss. And, yeah, like, I had all that footage, and part of the whole point of this playthrough was to, give my own reactions to everything, and to play completely blind, so, I felt kind of bad just getting rid of it completely. So I've been, I've been editing it, and then posting some of it, and... But it's still been irritating me because I know it can be better, and I know that what I'm putting up there is literally unwatchable. So I thought the best plan would be to just finish editing all of it, just go through it, find the most watchable parts, highlights, if you will, edit all of them, post them all at once, which I'm going to do, and then also, record this summary video, I'm going to call it. So that way, if somebody wants, they could watch for the, to just listen to my reactions and, hear them. But if you don't feel like doing that, I totally understand, and that's what this video is for. It's just a summary. It's just me going from the beginning to exactly where I am in-game at this point. That way you can just... You've pretty much gotten caught up. Yeah, and that's really it. So, if you're watching this, then please enjoy me celebrating defeating the first boss on my first try. Which, honestly, after the first playthrough, and when I was recording this, it gets so much easier. As it usually is in Dark Souls, once you figure out how you're supposed to do something, it makes parts of it easier. I know it can still be difficult, because, sometimes you may know how to do it, but you're just not able to get it done. But, it does help, I guess. Anyway. Discussions about the difficulty of Dark Souls should be a video I make. At some point. Alright, what I'm about to do, in the recording, which isn't something I did in the original playthrough, but, behind the scenes, I'm gonna do that at some point before the next recording. I'm about to go defeat the lone warrior that you saw hanging around the locked gate back there. Because they have this weapon called the Uchi, which which is a really nice early level dex based weapon, which is unfortunate since in the playthrough I started attempting a strength build, but since there are no strength weapons at this point, like, I mean, there may be some and I've completely missed them, which is always possible. But as far as I can tell, there are no actual strength-based weapons. It looks like the best idea would be to go for dexterity anyway, so that's what I think I'm going to end up doing. But because I'm lazy and I'm completely aware that chances of me, like, in as few tries as possible, killing this guy, like, in a normal battle would have taken forever. And the chances are really slim, because I'm not great at video games, even though I try. God, do I try. So, yeah, I just used a bunch of firebombs and did that. That was fun. It was great. And now I'm going to try to level up, and I tried, like, 2 different times, as you can see, and I was so frustrated because I don't know what it was. Maybe it was the elevation from the stairs or something, but for whatever reason, it didn't want me to, sit there and level up. So I was starting to get upset because I'm like, why? There's literally no reason for that. But it's all fine now. Now we're just running over to the bonfire, lighting it real quick. I'm not really paying too much attention to stuff in this. Like, I'm not gonna be, grabbing every item and stuff, obviously, because this isn't a real playthrough. It's just so I can get this recording out. Yeah, like, I even just avoid enemies that I don't have to deal with. It's basically a really slow and shitty speed run. Oh, and here comes the Dracon, as I have taken to calling it. Another thing I totally didn't do in the original playthrough is go through the shortcut. Also, the reason I was spinning right there, specifically, is because that chest is actually a mimic. Which I found out. It was fun. It was great. So wonderful. But yeah, I didn't even go back to this, like, to open that shortcut until much later. And I don't even think I showed that in any of the edited footage. So, now you're aware, I guess? Anyway, I don't know why I bothered going for the lizard, considering the fact that I'm just gonna toss this playthrough out. No, I mean, not the playthrough itself, obviously, but just this character, specifically. And then here I am just waiting around. Why fight your problems when you could just, avoid them entirely? And since I was figuring that chances were I was gonna take at least a couple tries just to get past the second boss, I might as well open up the shortcut, which, as you can see, I do. And like a silly Billy, I lose health and waste it unnecessarily, and so I decided that it would probably be for the best to just run up and hit the bonfire and heal up real quick, and then attempt the boss run. And yeah, I think I fail, actually, if I remember correctly. I know it didn't go too well, at least once, so, here I am waiting for enemies to pass by, because you know, it's not fun to lose health on the way to the boss. Oh, right. Dude fell way down into the cavernous pits below, which was fantastic, if I'm going to be honest with you. Just wonderful. Alright, and make sure nobody's following me, and now we're about to get the cutscene, which I bothered to leave in, since, you know, now you should be able to see it. And here's me about to take on the second boss. It's gonna be swell. Just look at that. Vort was actually a really fun boss to fight, you know, in retrospect, just because there are far too many in the previous Dark Souls games, bosses that are just humanoid, human-esque figures that are just, a lot of them kind of blur together, and they're boring and repetitive to fight, honestly. Which was why, the first boss, right, was interesting, because it was still the humanoid thing. Oh, and then that was the given death. But, you know, it wasn't, it was still had the humanoid, that's always fun. Always makes me happy when that happens. Humanoid aspect, but it's, like, it kind of changed it up by introducing the whole, the transformation monster-esque thing from Bloodborne. Oh, and this run actually upset me a whole lot, because I was so angry, because, you know, like, every enemy that could have hit me, every single thing that could have gone wrong on the way to the boss did. You know, it can't be easy, you know? They have to make you, take some time with it. So, you know, like I mentioned for the other boss, once you've defeated the boss at least once, it can be easier to know how to defeat them, you know? Yeah, it's very nice, I guess. Because, you know, now you have an idea of how to do it. So, you know, gives you an idea of what to do and how to do it better. Did I defeat it in this try? I don't remember. Yes, I did. Yeah, there it was. I do the happy little circle spin thing, which, you know, all things considered, is probably not a good idea, because people get motion sick. Oh, and then I remembered I forgot to go see a lady about a thing. Forgot to grab the banner from What's-Her-Face, over in the cathedral thing. Yeah, and then people attacked me, and it was so much fun. Like, look at that. Like, it's so upsetting. Like, you go and you defeat the boss, and it's so awesome, and then, like, random lackey number 2 manages to land a couple hits. Not these knights, though. These knights are just a pain in my ass. Ugh. I always love doing the little come at me thing, and then having them just start to wreck everything. Because, you know, you do that to bait them out, and then they actually take the bait and kick your ass, and then you're like, well, I guess I'm the fool. Da-da-da. So she gives you a covenant for the Way of Blue, as well as a banner which you're supposed to hold up over at the ledge. And then, you can continue on. Move to the next area, right? Which is always great. Especially since since it reminds me of the transition sequence from Demon Souls after you defeat the boss known as well, I guess this is technically spoilers. But but there's a boss called the Fool's Idol, and after you defeat her, you approach the altar that was behind her during the whole boss fight, and then a bunch of little gargoyles will fly down and just to whisk you away off to the next area. Yeah, then here you get to enjoy me having fun with a bunch of annoying zombie dog, skeletal dog things. I don't know what to call them. I just call them dogs. And then me running over here to talk to this NPC, who still kind of gives me the heebie-jeebies. I'm not sure officially what his purpose is. And I'm not sure I want to know, if I'm being completely honest. Only time will tell. Yeah. Yeah, like I said, I'm in this summary episode, I'm skipping a lot of the items. Like, I still grab a few of them. Just cause, that's what I'm used to doing in my playthroughs, but for the most part, I'm not grabbing every single item that I can remember. Just the important-ish ones, like the Loretta's bone that I pick up. I'm not sure who or what it's for. All I know is it's got a unique name. Came from one of those bodies. And if my experience from previous Dark Souls / Demon Souls games, is anything to talk about, it, chances are that it's important to somebody. Yeah. I remember, I go over the bridge because, you gotta have fun, right? You gotta explore. In my original recording, I did actually go down the other path, and I didn't feel like doing it in this one, because, I'm just trying to catch up to where I was. But down the other path, all I'd seen was just the inside of a house or something, and an empty building, right? And just defeated a bunch of these types of enemies and whatnot, and it didn't really do much. And then you had to go say hi to this NPC. This horrible monstrosity looking thing. It's just a bunch of bodies all together in a cage. It's the cluster. Oh man, I have to catch up on Steven. Oh, right! I go for that item and then I fell. I was so pissed off at that point. Because, there was no reason for that to go on any more than it had to. Especially since I was so close to getting back to where I was. It was so frustrating. For example, like, like, why did I say for example? Never mind. But, like, all I had to do was talk to that butcher-looking guy with the cage on his back. And it would have been all hunky-dory, but no, I just had to fall. Isn't that great? Isn't it wonderful? This is the true Dark Souls. Yeah. And I'm so upset that I just grab them and I make sure I actually get the item, which, I mean, it's not like I'm going to be going back to this character, but it's out of spite, you know? Like, I tried for it, and I failed, so that means I have to try even harder. Anyway, yeah, I climbed into that guy's cage, got this lovely little cutscene. I was, in the original playthrough, really worried it was a boss. Wasn't. Instead, it's just a covenant that you can achieve, called the Mound Makers. And yeah, now we're all caught up. So, yay!